Alright, Algebra 2 Trig, second day of notes for Chapter 1. Today we're just going to start out with a little bit of vocabulary, but I'm just going to be talking about it and giving you a few examples. So the first one's an expression. Here's an example for you. 2x plus 4 is an expression. No equal sign. But as soon as you say 2x plus 4 equals 8, that just became an equation. So equation, you got to have an equal sign. An expression does not. So remember, an expression is just 2x plus 4, and an equation is 2x plus 4 equals 8. Coefficient, if we were to take 3x squared, the 3 is your coefficient. It's the number that comes in front of a variable. Terms, just going to make something up here. X squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 5. Terms. X squared, 4x, 2x, and 5 are all terms. So this would technically have 4 of them. However, like terms would be something like 4x and 2x. We can add them together and call it 6x, but they have the exact same variable with the exact same exponent. So these are called like terms. And finally, a constant would be your number 5. Okay, no variables. Plus 5, it's at minus 10. If it's just a number that's added or subtracted to an expression, that is called your constant. Now off to the right over here we have what we know is this whole thing is called a power. Okay, your base would be 2 and the exponent is 5, but together that's called a power. Alright, so today we're going to start by talking with combining like terms. Now this is something that you probably remember how to do. So if you would like, just pause the video and try these 4 examples on your own for a few minutes, and then you can watch the step by step as we go through and see if you got them correct. So we're starting with the first one. There are 3 terms, and well, they're all the same term. They all have a variable of x. So we have 7x's, we add 2x's, that takes us to 9x's. We take 3 away, that's going to leave us with 6x. Our second example, we have terms of x squared and we have a term of x. So we have 3x squared, but we're going to take an x squared away. So that's going to leave us with 2x squareds. And then there's just 4x's. So 2x squared plus 4x, we're done. Third example, we have a couple of steps to do first. The first thing we have to do is distribute the 2 into this set of parentheses, giving us 2x plus 6. And for this set, we distribute the 3, and that's going to give us plus another 3x minus 12. So then we're just going to combine our like terms. We have 2x plus 3x, which is 5x. And then we have our 6 and a negative 12, which is going to give us minus 6, and we are done. This last one, we have terms of x squared, x, and constants. So sometimes it helps to just group them. Remember, the sign stays in front, so we have 3x squared and 1x squared. We have 7x and a negative 4x, and we have a positive 5 and a negative 2. So then all we have to do is combine all the like terms. We have 3x squared and x squared, which is going to give us 4x squared. We have 7x, we're going to take 4x away. That's going to give us 3x. And we have a positive 5 and a negative 2, which is going to leave us with 3. So that takes us to combining like terms. We're finished with that. Hopefully you were able to get all 4 of those correct on your own. Remember, use a calculator if you need to. I know it's the beginning of the year, and some of our mental math might be a little, little weak. Okay, order of operations, Pemdas. You guys already know that from many years ago. P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponent, M is for multiplication, D is for division, A is for addition, and S is for subtraction. So remember, that's the order you always look at these. We read these from right to left. Now the first 2 is sometimes confuses people. What's the difference between negative 2 in parentheses raised to the 4th power and just a negative 2 raised to the 4th power? Well, when you have parentheses, that negative is going to be raised to the fourth power as well. We can rewrite it so it looks a little bit like this. -2 times a -2 times a -2 times a -2. So negative times a negative times a negative times a negative. There's an even number of negatives. That changes it to a positive. 2 to the fourth is 16, so this is a positive 16. However, in the second example, the negative is not inside of parentheses, which means you are only taking 2 to the fourth power. So this would look a little like this. Negative times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. There's only one negative, so this is going to be negative 16. So next example, remember we read left to right. So the first thing we do is look for parentheses. There aren't any, there's no exponents, but the first thing we get to is multiplication. So as we go across, the first thing we're going to see is we have a 3 times 4. So we have 2 plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Continue looking through, we have a -6 divided by 2. So we've got to in a division. So we have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And now, addition and subtraction. So we have 2 plus 12 minus 3, which is just going to give us 11. Fourth example. The first thing we got to work with is our parentheses. So we have a -4 plus 2 times -2 plus 5 is 3 squared. We know that 3 squared is 9. So we have -4 plus 2 times 9, which is a -4, plus 18, which we could say is 14. Again, this is all review, just trying to get you warmed up. These are some of the essential skills that you will need to know for the rest of this semester and for the entire year, and in every math class as you go on from here. Next row, go ahead and give them a try. Pause if you need to. Come back and watch them done step by step. So again, the first thing we do is what's in parentheses. -8 plus 5. And 1 minus a negative we know turns into 1 plus 3 squared. 1 plus 3 is 4, still in parentheses. And then we move to our exponents. 4 squared is 16, so -8 plus 5 times 16. 5 times 16 is 80. Subtract 8, or -8 plus 80 is going to give us 72. First thing we're going to find in this one is an exponent. So we have 8 squared. So remember, this 8, or this negative, is not in parentheses. So this is going to be 3 minus 64 divided by 4 plus 1. Now we get to division. Division comes before addition or subtraction. So 64 divided by 4, that's going to give us 3 minus 16 plus 1. And now addition, subtraction, you just go work left to right. So we're going to have 3 minus 16 and then plus 1, which is going to end up giving us -12. And let's see, last one. The first thing you're going to need to do on this one is substitute. When we see this, it says x equals 3 and y equals 2. That means the first thing you want to do is substitute in 3 for x, so this becomes 2 times 3 squared minus 3 times 2. Now notice the squared is on the outside of the original parentheses. Whenever I substitute in integers or any value for a variable, I use parentheses because that'll help us with our order of operations. So the first thing we do here is square the 3. So that's 2 times 9 minus inside the parentheses first, which is going to give us 6 squared. 18 minus 36 gives us a -18. That is the end of this set of notes. Remember to go back, replay them if you need to, pause them, try them on your own. If you have any questions, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.